Right away, I know I've got some younger viewers out there saying, apologize for what? The world is.
Hey guys, as you can see, I've stitched a previous video there, and basically, what the guy's like, he's like, oh, because he's talking about how we were taught contradicting values, like looks don't matter, money doesn't matter, and as we grow up, we then find out that that's true, and we were told like, but what I really wanted to point on was, he said, well, young people are gonna say the word's flawless, like what, like yeah, if you're below high school level or something, maybe you'd think that. But kids nowadays know the world is horrible. And maybe think about our generation because, yeah, we watch shows like that. But honestly, today's television is just not the same. It's gotten worse. These values that we used to uphold no longer applies. And many parents are losing hope in this world. Like, as so many TikTok videos are now parents saying, I don't know how to tell my kid that they're not going to be able to afford a place to live, and how they're never going to have a house in their life, and how much they're struggling. And I think, like, just that talk of, like, that old generation going, yeah, I bet you guys think the world is flawless, right? Amazing. Especially because of the younger marriage you were given. But I don't know, speaking from my personal experience, yes, we were taught this stuff, but in reality, it never really pointed out. And it's funny, generally what I found, even in the movie, like saying looks don't matter, looks, we always figured out that looks do matter. And, like in real life, I've basically, judging a book by its cover, we're told not to judge a book by its cover. I haven't had so many, I don't think I've had any instances actually of wrongfully judging a person by their looks. Like, I don't know. It's just, of course, say I'm pretty good at telling, like, understanding people what type of person they are. But, like, I don't know. I just want to make a video about just how do you think the world is flawless? Especially, like, yeah, maybe as a kid. And, like, yeah, I grew up in 2003, so of course, I was born 2003, so of course that time was very unipolar. America was superpower after the Soviet Union fell. I never really found out about the Soviet Union actually till like I was in high school. Like we never talked about it. I'm in Canada. We never really talked about it. I only found out later. Actually, I didn't find out in school. I found out through TV about them talking about Soviet Union and underground bunkers and all that stuff. And of course, as we're taught, um, horrible people, evil values trying to destroy free will, when what they're doing was trying to create an equal world. And I think, also, I know that's hard to accept with my philosophy as well, but I have that same type of philosophy where you have to give some things up to have a freer world. And of course, it requires a utilitarian thinking. It's not always thinking about yourself, it's thinking about others. Because, of course, if you have money, you're rich, why would you want to give up your wealth, your money, to be average? But you should be thinking about others, and you were lucky the way your life turned out, but not others are. And you could have easily ended up in the same situation that others find themselves. And I think, of course, in this individualistic society, we mostly think for ourselves. And we see it in TV shows a lot of people, and even in real life, people who are dedicated to a cause or speaking out. They either get some money given to them or they get a threat or something, and they immediately stop doing it because either they're just thinking about themselves. And it's funny, recently, if you ever heard of Les Mis, it's a musical, and it was made into a movie. I listen to it all the time, and I know there's these two characters really that are opposite rivals. Jean Valjean, which was a prisoner who was convicted for stealing a loaf of bread, and Inspector, oh, I forgot his name, but he was I know people would hate me in the comments if they know this, if they know the name, but generally he was very uphold the law, uphold the values, And right, there's these two dichotomy songs. Like, they're both going through a depressive spot. And of course, one of the things is he steals from a church, Jean Valjean, and then the church he gets stole, like they find him and give him back, like, oh no, I gave him it. And the guy says, oh, you're now loved to God. Like, you have to do good things because I've forgiven you and I'm a representative of God, right? He's a priest. And so then he makes money, does a factory, and there's this person found out that's him, that they think it's him, and then the song is about, should I let them take him and I will have all my workers will all have the jobs, or to not go to hell or whatever, and to look after myself and to look after that one guy. I'll turn myself in, and all the rest of them, all my workers will have to find other jobs. They'll be jobless. So I think in a utilitarian sense, it's when more people go, oh, what a good man. But to me, I've always found, what about those workers? You care about your own personal sacrifice and yourself. While Inspector Javert, there you go, that's what it is, Javert, he was, now he's views the world in black and white. And Jean Valjean, he doesn't kill him and he lets him go. And he doesn't know how to live with that. Like he knows that either he can let him go but he's not doing his duty, or he can go after him but the man just saves his life. So he actually ended up he jumped off a cliff. But generally, like, of course, that's what happens when your values contradict each other, unless you have a cognitive dissonance, as I've talked about before. But generally, I find, in my view, Javert was always the better one, because he was doing what he was told. He was fighting for his society. Like, even when he was captured, he was like, he was captured by the resistance. It was a schoolboy revolt in France, what it's based on. And he said, I renounce your people's call. I will do nothing to do with you. Kill me if you want. I will not tell you any secrets. And I think, to me, like, that's something we should actually be, especially in this whole far-right, like, nationalistic culture. That's exactly what we want. We want somebody to go, this is what I believe in. Now, of course, he had a few things wrong, but I think we've lost the sight of actually believing in something and doing whatever it takes for it. Especially since we are in this society where we have a military, but the rest of us are generally safe and unharmed. And of course, in North America, Canada, really, we've never really been, like in World War II, World War I, we went to the front lines, but it never came back to us. We came back and our country was safe. Nothing happened. And I think that's generally where, like, we don't have this fear of being attacked, and we're known as, like, a middle power in Canada, and generally most people like us. So who would ever come after us, right? So we don't have this fear. But I do think what we need to do, basically, just to get on with it, like, we need to remember what horrible this world is. And of course, you hear it a lot, people going, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I don't know what my son's going to do, whatever. Then, yes, I love to vent, of course, but online is sometimes not the best place to vent. And you're not doing anything about, like, oh, I don't know what to do, this world's horrible. Like, go fight out, go form a organization, try and talk to your MPs for low prices, or join a movement like mine and try and advocate for world government. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like, all our great philosophers and people in the past, they were people who had an idea and said it, and even though they knew things were bad, they wanted to get things done. And that's what I want to do. So please, stop complaining or thinking life is great, because it's not, and advocate and make a better world. And don't just think about yourself, think about others, okay? See you guys.